Hello, hello. What a good kitty you are. You are the good kitty. You are the good kitty. Oops. You okay? Are you okay, sweetheart? Hello, everybody. I am... Oops, are we live? Oh, error. Just a couple minutes late because I was trying to coax the kitty to come over. So, he's so good. Yes, he is so good. I hope you all are well. Anybody who's new here, just know that we usually spend the first 10 minutes or so. I write down your questions, your political questions, and then we spend the rest of the hour me trying to answer them to the best of my ability. Just put your questions in all caps. Good boy. Good boy. And we will get to it. Oops, wrong pen. Also, I was working on my finances this morning. Hello, everybody. And so hopefully I'll be able to get my quarterly payment to feedingamerica.org within the next week. So I will let you know when that happens, because I usually put up all the information on my Patreon page, but I generally make it public. But just so everybody knows, I'm not just blowing smoke when I say, oh yeah, I give 10% of my gross profits on anything I make to charity. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. Okay, will Trump fire Fauci for disagreeing? Good kitty. Why, baby, I looked at that a few days ago, and it was yes. And Fauci's going to go off to do something else, but he's absolutely focused on helping. So he's not going to be without a job. He's going to be just working in some other way. Toma is asking, what will be the mortality rate in America? Oh, I don't know that I want to know, and Tarot isn't good with numbers. But you also ask, will Trump take the blame? Oh, my sweet summer child. Trump takes blame for nothing. He is a malignant narcissist. There's just sorry. I wish. How many senators has Rand Paul infected? Hang on, I think I need to turn on this other light. Maybe that'd help. Okay, sorry. I don't know that helped much, but I'm trying to make it easier to see. All right, let's turn this down a little bit here. I have my mug. My mother gave me this, which I think is hysterical. But, okay. Let me scroll back and let me write down questions. All right, scrolling up. All right, I'm only seeing caps here. Will the payroll tax holiday be included in the coronavirus stimulus bill? Payroll tax holiday, the details like that, Donnie, I don't usually... I've got to think about that, because that is so specific. Let me think about that. tax holiday in stimulus bill. All right, will Trump fire Fauci? Why, baby asked. Hello, good kitty. Yes, I think he will. Pretty kitty. What are you? No. I wanted to drink that. Oh, yoy. Great. Okay. Jeez. Will Trump take the blame? No. Will Trump be stopped? Good boy. Trump stopped from lifting the lockdown. I am so pale, and it's so funny that these nails make me look like I've got a tan. How many senators is Rand Paul infected? I think I read on that the other day. It was about how hard is the White House and the Senate going to be hit. Beryl's asking, is Trump having a breakdown? He seems more than usual. Trump having more. Usual. Okay. Is the stimulus deal going to happen? I've been getting yes, Miriam. Gail, if you can, Autumn, check to see if any news is coming out, any financial news is coming out this week on Trump. Okay? I'll just soon. Like I said, tarot it's really, you've got to look at the, you have to look at more at the astrology for specific times of things, but I will have a look. And I know there are people who do like a reading for the coming week or something like that. I'm not really necessarily good at that. Where this thing jumps sometimes and suddenly it suddenly jumps to the end, and then I've got to scroll back and figure out where I was. Stimulus deal, financial news coming out. Melissa's asking, will 45 get any legal trouble for the people poisoned by fish algae remover? I'm afraid, Melissa, I don't know anything about that. I'm not surprised that he's destroying the environment. I'm so sorry. Hope, what happens when C-19 case exceeds China's total cases? Okay, will U.S. cases exceed China? And I thought they already did? Or was that just deaths? Which is so sad we're having this discussion. Exceed China, and what will happen? See what I can do with that. Okay. Lourdes is asking, is Bill Barr stopping investigations into Republicans trying to profit from their insider knowledge? Bill Renfield Barr stopping insider trading investigations. Okay. Will the airlines shut down? 7. Will Drumful, I like that. Will Drumful open up the U.S. stop the quarantine next week for money? This will be related to, I'll put C number 2. Will Dumpy lift the lockdowns for money? Good kitty. Good kitty. C number 8. Okay. Yeah, Kitty did get a taste. Or goofball. Does Trump have a soul? Frida Smet. Where's my... Here it is. I have this for these kinds of questions. Does Trump have a soul? No. No. He does, but it seems like he doesn't. Anyway. Blessings to everyone. Thank you, Jazzy Girl. Yes, blessings to everyone. Will Trump's poll numbers take a nosedive? Good kitty. Scrolling. Keep those. Whoops, it jumped again. Quit jumping. Oh goodness, there's. All right, I'm just skipping to the end. I'm afraid I've got 9 questions already, and this thing keeps jumping. Does Trump want blue states people, poor people, people of color to die? Well, unfortunately, I think that's a question we need to ask. Does Trump want non-Trumpers, Trumpsters, to die? Does Melania have the virus? I think I've looked at that, actually, to be honest, Clotho. Is Giuliani hiding? Has he gone to another country? Not that I miss him, just curious how he's disappeared. SA78. And I read on Giuliani recently as well. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's see. And a couple took chloroquine phosphate, fish algae cleaner, not the malaria drug. Oh, that's ghastly. Goodness. Barr is being sued in federal court by a shareholder. All right. Yeah, okay. Malaria drug. Okay. So we've got 11 questions. Malaria drug. Hello, sweetheart. Oh, good boy. You are precious. You are precious. You are a good boy. Yes, you are. Trying to tilt this up just a little so you can see the kitty, because he's so good. He's so good. Let me move this out of your way so you can see clearly. So you have space. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Malaria drug effective, or a nightmare scenario. Okay. All right, so scrolling down to fish algae cleaner, Giuliani in hiding. Come on, scroll to the bottom. Work with me. Why is the press giving the Yeti a daily show filled with lies? Because he's the president. Will Trump stop his daily clown briefings? Yeah, okay, 12. Okay, so Trump, so 3 and 12. Um, 2 and 8 are related. Okay, poll numbers. There's a whole lot of stuff on Trump here. Hello, good boy. Do you know you're precious? Do you know you are precious? Yes, you are. Do you know you are the good boy? People like you because you're just a sweetie. You're just a sweetie. Good boy. Good boy. All right, what should I use today, do you think, sweetheart? A lot of these are on Trump. He's pretty nasty. Let's just use steampunk. Well, no. Let's use housewives. Yes, we'll use the housewives deck. Yes, we will. You are the good boy. See, you are the good boy. All right. Let's start by looking at these Trump questions. You're all right. You're all right. All right, so right now we are at 19. All right, so let's start with, okay, is Trump having more of a breakdown than usual? Is Trump having more of a breakdown than usual? It takes me a second. I've got to reach out for his energy. Oh, look, pain up the side of my head, up my neck, my head. Huffing and puffing. A lot of he's just mad. He's just mad all the time. And everybody's just becoming more and more of a sycophant. More and more of, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Star. Thank you. More and more of, he's furious. People are not worshiping him, and the stock market's going down. And people who are, let's put it this way. Back when the stock market was going up and up and up in the early 2000s, one of the things that a number of people in the hiring people in the big financial companies in London and New York, one of the things they did was to, in their criteria, their hiring criteria, they actually found, hello dear, a psychological check sheet for sociopathic tendencies. And they quite literally started hiring people based on whether or not they had those callous, cruel, sociopathic tendencies, because they thought it made them better traders. In reality, you ended up with things like the financial collapse of the market, them breaking laws and that kind of stuff. But the fact is that a lot of sociopaths, unfortunately, they go into things like finance or certain parts of business because they're not good at feeling. So they don't get the kind of reward you get through emotional connection. So they start literally putting a monetary value on their worth and the worth of people around them. It's like, oh, you have this amount of money, therefore you are worth this much. You have this amount of money, therefore you are worth this much. And Trump is very much like that. I'm not saying he's a sociopath. He is a malignant narcissist. I'm sure there's some overlap there somewhere. But with the economy going down, he doesn't even have that now. So what does he have? If he doesn't have people constantly sucking up to him, if he has people like Fauci publicly speaking out, disagreeing with him, he doesn't have his rallies to just have waves of people just, his little, his little, they're cult rallies. And he doesn't have that. And now the stock market is tanked. What does he have? What does he have that he thinks is of value? Yeah, by his view, his wife is beautiful because it's all physical. Because I'm not saying come on, she's Eva Braun, but he doesn't see her as a person. She's a mannequin. He has that. He has children. He has sons. He has Ivanka. But even Ivanka can barely get through to him. Because what does he have now? So he's not going to... At this point, what does he have? So is he having more of a breakdown than usual? This is not good. He's being, except by the real diehards, it's very apparent. It's even more apparent than normal that he can't make things work. Things are breaking down. That the kind of laissez-faire capitalism that the Republicans push that only helps corporations, and because of course in the stimulus bill he really wants a lot of breaks for his businesses. These are vices, and this is a used car salesman and it's all coming to light. So, is it more of a breakdown than normal? Is it worse than normal? Four of Swords. Trying to make himself look good. Is it worse than normal? It's harder for the people around him. It's a lot harder for the people around him. And it's just all about the money. It's all about his wealth. It's all about his wealth being viewed as big as possible. And it's also his donors and the people he talks with, you know, that he used to talk to at Mar-a-Lago and all this kind of other stuff. That's not good. Therefore, what can be good? So, what else have I got here on Trump? Does he, I can't imagine, but then again, that's because I can't wrap my head around people who are so emotionless, who have no empathy, considering I'm kind of all empathy. But does he want non-Trumpsters to die? Anyone who is not pledging fealty, does he want them to die? Does he care if they die? I mean, I hate to even ask this question. Why should it says something that I have to ask this question. I mean, that's it. 27. Yeah. Does Trump want non-Trumpsters to die? Does he care if they die? It's so vile. It is so awful I'm asking this question. That I even have to ask this, because I can't just say, oh, of course not. Look, I know no one's a saint, but would anyone have even thought of asking this about Obama? Seriously? Did he want Republicans to die? Hillary Clinton, did she want Republicans to die? No. That emotional cup is empty. Cups are emotions. Ace is either the beginning or it's a lot of emotion, or it's the beginning of an emotional situation, and it's empty. Hard decisions help the wealthy, help the leisure. Oh gosh, that feels like maids. The help. You know what this is? Cohen said a long time ago, he said that he was in a car, he got into a car, of course it was like a limo or whatever, with Trump, and they went past an area that was really run down and was very heavily African American. And Trump looked out the window and he said the most awful things about, it says something about these people that this is how they choose to live. That would not, it would not cross my mind. That's something that never crossed my mind to say, to think. What the heck is that? It's, people are making choices, and if you make good choices, you end up rich. No, if you start with advantages, you're more likely to end up rich. Hello, kitty. Hello, good boy. All right, if something weird shows up in the chat from me, it's the kitty walking on the keyboard. Yes. He can't wrap his head around it. He just can't. He has no concept that he thinks he's a self-made man. He really does. Does he want them to does he care if they die? Or is there some part of him that's like, well, good, they deserve it? I'm just going to say one word, and I'm going to leave it at that. And that word is racism. I'm going to leave it at that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Will Trump stop his daily clown briefings? 31. Let's look at the kitty, because we're talking about Trump, and I even need a little kitty cuteness. I need a little kitty cuteness, because you are the good boy. Good boy. He's not a plant. He's not a, he's just a rotten human being. He just is. And we knew that when he was running for president. Only now we see that becoming president did not humble him, did not help him, nope. It was just a big old ego boost, which is about the last thing a malignant narcissist needs. So, starting at 31, will Trump stop his daily clown briefings? Because, oh dear, people are asking questions. People are not just constantly fawning all over him, calling him a wartime president, giving him credit. I donate my salary, $450,000, and nobody said thank you. People, when I make my donation to feedingamerica.org, do you know what I expect to get back from it? Nothing, except knowing that somewhere there's going to be more food in food banks. That's it. Nobody's going to say thank you to me, and I don't want that. It's not why I'm doing it. You don't give money away. Hi. Hello, precious. Hello, beautiful. Look at those beautiful eyes. Look at those beautiful eyes. Yeah, ugh. All right, is he going to stop his daily clown briefings? Well, let's see, because I've got the temperance card here. And that's not, he's not good at that. Hanged Man. Queen of Pentacles. Tail of Destruction down here. Devil is his vices. King of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. He really doesn't want to. I mean, you'd think, well, maybe this won't be fun until he'll stop, but this would be stopping. And this would be donors, people around him who have some clout because they have money, being like, okay, probably for the best, but he cannot just disappear and not have that audience now that he's had it. And he knows he's got that audience. He knows that Fox News is going to run the thing and just be, my baby's saying the briefings are taking the place of his rallies. Narcissists need a mirror, yeah. And it's hurting him, but he can't. I don't know that I've ever felt this devil card more strongly, even though it's hurting him. It's like a drug. He has to have it. He has to have it. It doesn't matter that, well, maybe this feels like, no, this is not listening. Oh, look at this. The chocolate cake. Oh, and the comfort food, the junky food, oh, wow. This is, You know, the only thing he can't resist is temptation. So he's, I think I really, honestly, I would have thought he would be like, well, they're not praising me, therefore I'm not going to do this. But it really feels like he can't help himself. Dave is asking, are Trump supporters self-loathing? That is actually a question that should jump into the line. Self-loathing. It is 36. Now, off the top of my head, my guess would be no, they're scared. They cannot see how the radical changes that are happening can end in anything but disaster. But let me see what I've got here for cards. While the kitty cleans its face. Are Trump supporters self-loathing? Oh, Tail of Destruction. I'll turn this down just a little bit. So you can see the Tail of Destruction. Six of Swords. They see it as a very hard world. A very hard world. No matter what their advantages have been. High Priestess, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the Lovers. This is a long-standing argument. It didn't just start. This argument this is reminding me of something. This argument did not just start now. This argument started back when the back in the 60s, the 70s, when there was this fight between this new culture, this your Jackie Onassis versus your Grace Slick. Grace Slick versus her mother, who was extremely conservative. This has its roots in the past. And it's just a later time. And so they are holding on to these beliefs that formed a long time ago. And this card, usually it's, can often be secrets because we're talking about Trump stuff, but this can also be higher wisdom. And this, in my mind, is referring to the past. Like what I've learned, because they got in their heads that this is the way the world works. And, it's kind of why you get the kind of okay boomer expression where you're saying, I'm having trouble like getting a job, and I don't know what to do about like health insurance. And their response is literally, well, then you need to find a good enough job that pays for health insurance. And it's like, sorry, what decade do you think this is? Sorry. Jen Lynn Tarot, hello. I hope you're well. So I am talking about, are Trump supporters self-loathing? They aren't. They are stuck in a view of the world that served them very well. But times are changing, and they're just carrying that belief over into now. They, as they say, some people insist that Darwin said it's survival of the fittest. It's not. It's the survival of the most adaptable. And they are not willing to adapt. And they look at, I mean, I'll be honest, I've lived in Europe. I know what it's like dealing with all those high taxes. You know, I know I was too young when I lived in Belgium to understand, but I lived in Holland. I've spent an awful lot of time in England. And yeah, you get sales tax that, it's going to call it VAT, which is like 18%. And in Holland, you get so much, the taxes are so high that you get a thriving black market. Thriving. Like if you want something done on your house, the person will do it, sure, but they want cash for it. And they won't do it if you don't give them cash. So the taxes get too high, it becomes a big problem. And so there's no point in it. It gets to a point where, yeah, it can quash progress, it can quash innovation. If you have someone who's making, let's just say you have someone who's making $50,000 a year, or the equivalent, and you have someone who's making $80,000 a year, and after taxes, you both have $30,000. Well, it's like, well, what's the point in trying to get ahead? So it isn't that I can't see both sides. I can see how it can go wrong. And when you say the word socialism to a lot of these people, that's what they're thinking about. They're thinking about crushing socialism, which is a whole different thing from things being, you know, a little left of laissez-faire capitalism, which is kind of what we have now. There's a happy medium in there somewhere, but maybe that's just my Gen X talking, my Gen X self talking, that there's a happy medium between the two. But anyway, they're stuck in the past. They're not adapting. So will his poll numbers take a dive? Last I heard, his poll numbers gone up. It was like 55 or something. It's being reported that 45 wants the country open by Easter, Wondering Eyes is saying. I'm going to get to that about the lockdown questions. I've got those here. DeSantis is letting folks to congregate on the beaches in Florida. It's is it a new breeding ground for COVID? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't even have to read on that. It just is. Sorry. I agree with Mims. Why on God's green earth would he do that? I agree. All right, so will Trump's poll numbers take a dive? Oh gosh, I hate to say these things. Oh, what I got was, it depends on the death toll. Oh, yuck. That's, sorry, I need my salt and my sage here. Whoa, that's, I'm gonna need a shower after this. That's vile. Oh, take care, Noel. All right, are his poll numbers going to go down? Not with Republicans. Oh, sycophants. Cleaning up after him, trying to make him look good. Maybe they can get him to be quiet. It's hurting Republicans in a big way. Tell me more about I think the key here is, tell me more about this lover's card. Because we know all the other stuff there. What is this lover's card? Is this poll numbers go down. Hello, kitty. You doing okay? Can you get through? Oh, gonna go that way? Okay. Two of Cups. Judgment. Six of Cups. Four of Wands. I'm actually... His base loves him. His base loves him. His base loves him. Okay? That's good luck. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to change. Just so in the way that, you know, Roger Stone has a Nixon tattoo on his back. And it's like, really? It's like, no, he does. And there are people who are doing everything they possibly can to make him look good. Even though his inaction is causing a mess. But what I'm getting here is that it's who's going to win the PR war on who really cares about people. And right now, it's the Cups, it's the Democrats. People are stuck at home, and it's nice for a while until your savings runs out, if you had any. And they're going to make a judgment based on who they think is really going to help. So, are his numbers going to nosedive? Probably not. But, let me see, are they going to get lower than they were before this? Are Trump's numbers going to go lower than they were before this? Or are they going to just keep going up? Ugh. If Fox News, that feels like a Fox News set. Are his numbers going to go any lower than they did before? Nope. Nope. No, there are people in a crisis who will always rally around the president, or they'll feel like, there's some people who even feel like it doesn't matter who's the president. If there's a crisis, we have to, it's our duty as Americans to rally around whoever's in the office. They're not all bad meaning, but his numbers are not going to be where they should, because you have such a strong PR effort. You have this constant 24-hour-a-day PR station. And people who watch Fox News don't tend to watch anything else. And if they decide that they think that everybody should rally around the president no matter what in a crisis, then they're going to turn on MSNBC or CNN, and they're going to hear any criticism, and they're going to be like, that's not right. I'm turning this off. I'm going to go over to Fox. Yeah, it's not pretty, how he acts. And Democrats can't do everything that they want to do, obviously, but they're trying. They are really trying to get stuff out that will help average workers. And there's going to be some damage. I'm just seeing, I just got news flash. It's just talking about Trump says he wants the U.S. opened up and running by Easter, and he wants to ease coronavirus restrictions by April 12th, despite caution from health experts. Yes, which you guys informed me of here momentarily, a little while ago, you know what I mean. I should have written this down. I didn't write what time that started. Oh well. Okay, will Trump be stopped from lifting the lockdown? Will he will he basically unlock it for money? So we're around 50. Okay, 50. Will. See if I can reach out to this energy. Oh, look. It's the Emperor. The tub of lard himself. Well, Trump. I've got to say this. Someone reminded me earlier this morning about how awful he was to the first Miss Universe after he took over the pageant, and he called her Miss Piggy, and he called her Miss Housekeeper. Yeah, it's kind of something I'm having trouble getting out of my head these days, or this morning. This afternoon. Sorry, I'm in an alpha state, and I'm... All right, will Trump, let me reach out, will Trump lift the lockdown for money? He wants to. Boy, does he want to. He actually is afraid of too much criticism from Fox News, and even Laura Ingraham, who I believe was let go, but she was tweeting about it, and he's just jumped on that. Sure, okay, you don't want the cure to be worse than the illness. Okay. People will understand that. No, they won't. The other thing you guys have to understand, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think the guy's name was Richard Kiyosaki, something like that. He wrote the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, and there are a bunch of them. About focusing on, your house is not an asset. An asset is only something that puts money in your pocket all the time. Or I'm sorry, I just glanced at their I just glanced at the comments and I saw something about a Scottish shovel. It's like, okay, I'm just going to go back to what I was doing. It was on all caps, so it's like, oh, usually that's supposed to be me. Okay. Trump and Kiyosaki wrote a book together. And Trump has taken a lot of that to heart about how in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad had told a lot of very simple stories like fairy tales and parables and just really just dumb it down to the lowest denominator about how to do things. And that's helped Trump. And if you listen to a lot of the things he said on his campaign, the campaign trail initially, it was like, oh, yeah, you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You are using those techniques of communication. But he just saw how successful Richard Kiyosaki's been, and so he just took that to heart. So as far as him lifting the lockdown for money, he doesn't view, if he's taken that to heart, he's only viewing assets as something that's putting money in your pocket every day. So lifting the lockdown, thank you, Deborah. Thank you. So I'm going to lift the lockdown for money. It would do a lot of damage. He's being told to. He's getting a lot of pressure to. I don't know if, I'll have to ask if he's going to succeed, but this is, yeah, he wants to. Money, beginning and omega, the alpha and omega, money. Make it work. Businesses can't work. The engine can't run if things aren't where they're supposed to be, done the way they're supposed to be. And billionaires can't make more money. and he's getting pushed back, and he's being told to take the wider perspective, the long-term perspective, the what's really good for the country, which isn't what's good for the country, it's what's good for the money. Jeez. He's awful. All right, so are they going to actually do it? Is he going to call for it at least and say, yep, this is when this should happen, and he'll try to get businesses to reopen, but the problem is that the people are under this burden. There aren't enough customers, there aren't enough people going out. They're still in bad shape. Not enough people are going to be willing to go out until their own governors, like their own Democratic governors, until there's the stimulus bills in place and working, and cups is what I get for Democrats. Pentacles are what I get for Republicans. And this is him telling industry, yes, reopen, reopen, reopen. But how can they do that without customers, with the debt burdens they have, with employees not wanting to come to work? And so the energy shifts over to listening to Cuomo and California Governor, is it Newsom, something like that? People who are seen to care more about people and the real future of the country than caring about the money. So, is he trying to do it for money? Yes. His own money, of course. Is he going to be stopped from doing it? He's going to call for it. He's going to call for it. But is it? It's a matter of who's going to listen. He's going to call for it, and it's just going to end up hurting him. Because this is the holdup. He pressured into doing. Fine, he reopens, and the engine can't just kick back in. And think about it. All those stock market gains he has crowed about his entire presidency, they're all gone. The market is back down where it was when he started. It's all gone. So, yeah, people just aren't going to listen that much. All right, let's look at. Oh, well, there's a good question, since we're still on Trump, and we're at 60 minutes. Is any bad financial news going to come out about Trump soon? Is bad financial news about Trump going to come out soon? And I wouldn't say the next week. I would say before the end of April, because that's a big enough. It's a big enough time span that Tara might be able to tell me a little bit of a yes or a no. Bad financial information about Trump come out between now and the end of April. It doesn't feel. I can't feel it right now. I'm not, I want to, you know, say, yes, I can feel the bombshell back in there. I can't feel it. Sort of truth. Yeah, I mean, the truth is coming out. But is it negative financial information? No. Showing how heartless he is, his bad business practices, the constant messes he gets himself into coming to light, and no, it's not time yet. This crisis is gonna, unfortunately, oh, thank you, Mims. I appreciate that. So, this. Okay, so, let's look at, will the airlines shut down? And I have to get full disclosure, I have worked on the periphery of the airline industry in my lifetime. I'm not a pilot, but I know more about the airline industry than I think the average person does, slightly, but not like, oh yeah, I've got all the inside everything. All right, so about 61:30. Will the airlines shut down? Wow, seeing my mind, I'm seeing a very, very empty terminal, so. There is going to be a big bailout. There's no guarantee that every airline's going to take that bailout money because it'll come with strings, but there is going to be a big bailout for them. They're workers at home, really at home for a long time. This is feeling like, yes, absolute halt. I hate to say that. And then it starts up again, but it restarting is a little iffy, but it's not perfectly straight across, but it almost feels like, you know, airplane wings. It's like, okay, we're going up, we're going, you know. But workers, too many workers are home. And too many workers are going to have to stay home. And it is going to get better. It is. It is going to get better. The airline industry, when it gets hit, like after 9/11, it gets hit hard. It gets hit really, really hard. But then over time, what happens is it comes back because people want to travel. And there are so many things you can't do by over, you know, Zoom or whatever, FaceTime, Skype, Messenger video, whatever. But it's hard. It's not the most wonderfully stable. Considering how important it isn't the most wonderfully stable kind of careers to be in the airline industry. They're gonna have to judge. This just feels like using their judgment business. It's like, oh, I know I'm dealing with aircraft stuff because it feels like weighing stuff like baggage. King of Cups, Queen of Swords, the Empress, Death card, King of Swords. They'll make it work. It doesn't matter how bad. This isn't death. This is Americans not wanting to fly for a while. This is trying to cut back. This is the business decisions. This feels like airline executive types. And Americans not wanting to fly so much right now, but they'll make it work. They'll make it work and they'll recover. That's what I'm getting. You might want to ask somebody else who maybe doesn't know as much about the industry, because I try not to let my own feelings interfere, but it feels very, very familiar energy to me. Yeah, it's gonna just absolutely go in the toilet for a while. Excuse my reference to that, but it'll get better. It's what happens. So, and all right, let me see if there's anything else I can cover before my energy's completely gone. All right, so I've covered that. Breakdown financial news. Did that. Didn't write down the number, but I did that. All right, let's look at the malaria drug. Hopeful, or just is this a nightmare scenario with people taking the wrong things and it being handled badly? Or is this going to be like, yes, this is great. This is great. All right, let me take a second and reach out for the energy. It feels like doctors are skeptical. On the surface, it seems like parts of the world where they take the malaria drug all the time are having less of this virus. I'm just feeling a whole lot of doctors being very skeptical. They're not saying no, they're just, it's like they're standing back and they're kind of side-eyeing the whole situation. Like, you could maybe prove it to me, but my initial reaction to this is, okay, the malaria drug. Good, bad, or indifferent. Great, nightmarish, or meh. Well, people trying to work together. That's good. There could very quickly be a black market for this drug. Money to be made. Well, this actually feels like a lot of people taking it. So is that just the people who are already taking it? This actually feels like the skepticism and a lot of fighting over it. There's a lot of money to be made by whatever ends up helping this. Happy pharmaceutical companies. But is this a lot of people taking it now? Or is this everybody taking it in the future? Skepticism, skepticism, skepticism. And Queen of Cups, all right, that's healthcare. That's testing. It's not for everybody. It's not. Absolutely not. There are people who react really badly to it. They want, it feels like healthcare workers, they really, like, you better prove this to me, down to the nitty gritty, before I'm doing a sign off on passing this off as being the be all and end all to families, to everybody, decisions, convoluted decisions. And a lot of people, it's like, no, they're not getting, no, thank you, no, mm-mm. That's what I'm getting. I wish I could say I'm getting yes, but I'm getting I saw the cutest little meme today. I've got to share with you guys. It was the picture of the bottom side of a little baby's foot. Cute little baby's foot. And you had the big toe, and you had the toe next to it. And there was a little arrow, and it said, "Be like this piggy." It was very cute. All right. And I didn't write down what time I started that either. Yikes. All right. Well, I have I'm so sorry. I have a few more questions here, but I am sorry. I am getting tired, but I will be back tomorrow. Okay, so I will be back tomorrow, and I will do readings on questions, and we'll get through this, okay? All right, and let's just take a moment. I just want to send, since we are all a part of the divine. We are all pieces of the divine. And all we need to do is ask that the world be filled with the highest level of divine energy, the lightest, brightest, most positive, healing, helpful, wonderful, divine energy. That it flow through us, that it flow through everyone, that it flows through the earth to bring healing, health, kindness, goodness to the world. All right, thank you. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you so much to our Troll Slayers. We have the best moderators on the internet. You rock. You absolutely rock. All right, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hang in there, all right? We'll get through this. We'll get through this. Okay, bye-bye.